Hey folks, welcome to Blending today. So this week we're working in Unit 4, Week 3, where we are learning about that long O sound. So long O says O, and this week we've been learning about the new variant vowel team spellings that can work together to say that long O sound. So we've been working on O by itself, so we know that O normally by itself will say ah, but now we're starting to learn that O can also say the long O sound. So in a word, when you see that O by itself, like so or no, you just have to kind of know that you can switch it. So if you tried it with a short O and it doesn't sound right, then flip it, turn it into a long O, see if it sounds right, matches your picture. OA, like in the middle of the word boat, that can also say the long O sound. So OA can come at the beginning of the word, like in the word oatmeal, or it can come in the middle of the word, like the word boat, and you might see it at the end of a word, possibly. And then OW, those letters work together to say the long O sound in certain words, like blow and flow. And this, you might see at the beginning, you might see it in the middle, and you might see it at the end. So this spelling of long O, where it's blank OE, you will only see OE at the end of a word. Or not necessarily just at the end, but there will be a letter or a sound before it. It might be some letter, OE, and then something else at the end. But OE will never begin a word. All right, let's do high frequency words first. Of course, you can turn the sound off at this point and you can practice the words on your own. 8, animal. About, carry. Hour, give, small, other, or, because, into, blue, warm, more, find, over, start, food, flew, laugh, know, listen, were, caught, right, hard, found, would, near, woman. Thank you so much. Let's get started with our blending. Okay, first word. Okay, your turn. O, k, a. Okay. All right, so this word, okay. When we say the word okay, we hear long O at the beginning, and it is spelled with O by itself. And then we hear ka, oak. And then at the end, we hear long A, which is the vowel team that works together to say long A. O-k-a, okay. So the way that you probably spell and see the word okay is just with an O and a K. So when you even say the letter K, ka, a, even when you say the letter K, you hear long A at the end of K. So that's the full way of spelling the word okay. Next word, robot. Your turn. O, b, a, t, robot. Robot. So the word robot actually has, word robot has a long O and a short O. R says in the word robot. O, that first O says O, O. B says B. The second O in the word robot says short O, O, B, A. And T says ta, O, B, A, T, robot. Almost sounded like a robot when I said that. All right, next word. Rainbow. Your turn. A, N, B, O. Rainbow. So when I say rainbow, I hear a long A and I hear a long O. R says A, I. Long A. Vowel team working together to say the long A sound. A. And says ain, rain. And then the second part of this word, B, says ba. And OW. Vowel team working together to say long O. So A, ba, O. Rainbow. Rainbow. Right. Next word. Going. Your turn. Go. Ing. Going. Going. So notice how when I said the word going, I split it up into the word go and the piece ing. But if you were to sound it out, ga, o, ing, you would hear that long O in there. Ga, o. And again, most folks, not everybody, knows that this word, G-O, is the word go. It's just a high frequency word. Ga, o. And then here is the ending piece. I-N-G. Like I am going to the store later. Or I'm going to the store now. Go-ing. Go-ing. And so most of the time we don't even have to sound out that word. We've seen it so many times and we just know it. And same thing with the word go, the beginning piece there. G-O, we've seen it so many times we don't have to sound it out. And then, oh wait, we see the I-N-G. Go, go, ing, go-ing. Yeah, and your brain just kind of puts it together. All right, next word. Most, your turn. M-O-sta. Most, most. M says This is another example of O by itself, making that long O sound. And then an ending blend. S-ta, sta, most, most. And next word, sold. Your turn. S-O, old, sold, sold. So this word sold is just another example of O by itself being the way to spell that long O sound. It is one of our ways to spell it. S-O. L-D, just blend that L and the D together. Old-da, s-old, sold. Next word, soap. Your turn. S-O-pa, soap. S says S. And O-A, vowel team, working together to say that long O sound. S-O, so. P says pa, s-o-p, soap. So notice how if I were to take the LD off of that word sold, it would say so. And then if I take the P, the pa, off of that word soap, it still says so. So this is just another example of how the long O sound can sound the same, but be spelled in 2 or actually 4 different ways. All right, next word. Coach. Your turn. K-O-ch. Coach. Coach. C says ka. O-A. Vowel team working together to say that long O sound. Ka-O. And that digraph. C-H, which we talk about all the time, you can never sound out. It will always be C-H together, says cha. It will never be kaha. It will never be ka-o-kaha. That just won't be, it won't be a thing. All right, so let's read our second line. Most, sold, soap, coach. Your turn. Love it. Thank you. All right, next word. Told. Your turn. Ta-o, old, told. So I notice when I say the word told, it rhymes with the word sold, And I also hear the high frequency word old at the end. T says ta. Another example of O by itself, saying that long O sound. LD, ol, da, old. Ta, o, old, told. Next word, held. Your turn. Ha, old, held, held. So when I say the word held, I don't hear long E, I don't hear long O. H says ha, E, short E, and LD, those two letters work together to say old, old, ha, held, held. Okay, so I'm going to change this word held to hold, where I hear long O instead of short E. So all I'm going to do is change one letter. Change the to O. So the word was hold. Your turn. Ha, O, old, hold, hold. H says ha, O by itself, just another way to spell that long O sound. LD, ol, da, old, ha, old, hold. Next word, our last word, frozen. Your turn. Fur, O, z, frozen, frozen. So imagine that we have seen this word so many times, and so you probably don't even have to think about sounding it out because you've seen it so many times. It's everyone's favorite movie. FR, fur. But when you say frozen, without even realizing it, you hear the long O sound. And in this word frozen, it's just O by itself making that sound. Z says z. In the word frozen, that E just makes a short E sound. Frozen, frozen. And says frozen, frozen. So what I just realized is O blank E is a way to spell that long O sound. So frozen, frozen. So in that case, you almost kind of hear the E. So frozen, frozen. Yeah. Okay, let's read our last line. Told, held, hold, frozen. Your turn. Lovely. All right, let's do a sentence. Jay says ja, O-A, vowel team, working together to say that long O sound. And says Joan, Joan. So in this sentence, Joan is a name. She's a person. She's a noun. And so now that's two reasons that J is capitalized. It's the beginning of a sentence and it's a name. So Joan, C-H, remember? Cha, never, ever, ever. Kaha, always. Cha. And O blank E, another way to spell that long O sound. Cha-o, chose. Joan chose, cha-os, chose. Joan chose. S says S. And O-A, vowel team, working together to say the long O sound. S-O. P says pa, s-o-p, soap. Joan chose soap. High frequency word. That. High frequency word is. digraph WH, wa, not waha, wa. I blank E, so that's long vowel, long I. Wa, I. T says ta, wa, it, white. Joan chose soap that is white. High frequency word and. G says ga. In this word, the O is going to be a long O, ga, O. LD, ol, da, old, ga, old, gold. Joan chose soap that is white and gold. Your turn. Wonderful. All right, so we need some punctuation at the end of our sentence. In this sentence, I think it should just have a period. I can't think of why I would say this sentence with any oomph. And it's definitely not a question. So it would just be a period. All right, let's do some nouns and verbs. So our noun is a person, a place, or a thing. Joan is a noun. She's a person. And soap is a noun. It's something that Joan is going to touch, and hopefully you will later when you wash your hands. Joan chose soap that is white and gold. So those are our only two nouns. They're the only things that will be touched. So our verb, chose, because that's what Joan did. Remember, a verb is an action. It is something that the nouns do. So one of our nouns, soap. Soap is not doing anything in our sentence. But Joan is doing something. This noun, Joan, is choosing something. What is she choosing? Soap. And this sentence has some adjectives. So remember, if you forgot, adjectives are describing words. They describe or modify a noun. Okay? So the soap is the noun that is being described here. White is something, is an adjective. It is a word that can describe something. In this sentence, it describes the soap that she bought. But for example, my shirt is white. Gold is also an adjective. It is describing something. It's describing the soap. All right, let's read our sentence once more. Joan chose soap that is white and gold. Wonderful. Thanks so much for your focus. Make sure to go back and review the video and really help yourself with the skills. We'll see you later.